So this video will be a lot more detailed than our first one, and we'll go through the setup of a couple of these indicators to help you understand how to start going about creating indicators for your org. When you install the indicators, we've included a indicator setup tab that you can get to. That is not normally on this sales page, but you can just go to indicator setup and then pin this tab to your whichever app you're working on at the moment. And to have access to this tab, you have to go to permission sets of indicators and assign yourself to this permission set. This permission set, the only thing it does is show this tab. So this tab shows the four main custom metadata types that drives this: the indicator bundles, items, bundle items, which is the combination of the bundles and the bundle items, and the item extensions. So let's just have a look at the indicator bundles. We've got the lead company info, the lead contact info, and the lead key details. We'll go back to our leads. And we can see here, this is the bundle for lead key details. This is the bundle for company details. And we have another bundle on that only comes up occasionally, which is called lead contact details. So that's the lead contact info, the lead company info, the lead key details are the three bundles that we've named. So then we've got the indicators for annual revenue, email, industry, location, mobile, rating, source, website, and then we've got which of those indicators are on which bundles. So this is great that you can have one indicator set up and you can have it on multiple different bundles, and then have different bundles appearing on different record type pages for different pages, different conditions on the page. So you might have one bundle that is displayed when it's when the account is not active, and one bundle that's displayed when the account is active, or one for a different product opportunity record type of this type 1, opportunity record type of type 2. You have different bundles, but you can have the same indicators on different bundles. That's a really cool feature. So this bundle item says on lead company information, we've got lead location, we've got lead annual revenue, and we've got lead industry. And then we've got the extensions, which is enables us to take one field, so lead rating, and give us the hot, warm, and cold rating for that, and have different settings for each one of those values of hot, warm, and cold. So extensions is all about the field value. So bundles is about the component and which component sits on the page, which component is available to sit on the page. The indicator items are each indicator setting for itself. We mix them together by adding indicator bundle item. So a bundle and an item together, and then indicator extensions are about the values. Okay, so I'm going to go through the first indicator item. So we'll just go through the bundle setup. The beautiful thing about this setup is that you can go straight to the custom metadata type. So it saves you from having to go through setup and go into custom metadata types. But of course, you can just go straight to setup and go to custom metadata types. So we'll open this first. And that's the indicator bundles. So how do we get here in setup? We go to custom metadata types. And we've got our 4 custom metadata types there. You might have more in your org after you install this package. And then we're going to go manage records on the indicator bundles. So this setup here takes us directly to that page. So here we've got the lead company information, the lead contact info, and the lead key details. Okay, so if I go to, so the one I want to look at is the in lead key details. So I'll go to lead key details. Or I can come straight to the one I want to look at is the lead status. So I can come straight to here and open that custom metadata type directly from the tab. So this indicator is one of the most basic ways of doing an indicator. So what I've done is I've created a field, a custom field called is working on the lead object. So the lead object just has this field called is working, and it is just saying is pick value status working contacted. Now I call these fields my action fields or my informational fields that I set up for multiple purposes. So I want to have this field of is working checkbox field available on my list views and my reports. Plus I also want to use it for an indicator. So if I just want to use it for indicator, I don't have to do a field. But if I want to have it coming up on a report or a list view and to be able to filter on reports easily by is working, like is active, is cancelled, any form of status that we can call it an is or an was or anything like that, then I will create it as a field. So in this case, I've got a field called is working on the lead status. And I've got a description here to say, look, we only need to show that is working. We don't need any other status because the path is also showing. If we don't have the path, we might be able to just use our indicators. So here we've got a hover text we've entered. We are working on the lead. We're saying only use the icon and use the icon of custom 95. So where does that icon come from? It comes from Lightning Design System icons. So here's the Lightning Design System icons. So you've got a pretty good range of icons to choose from. And so you've looked through, and any of these icons you can use for anything you like, as long as you can explain it to your team. If you can explain it and they take on, if they think it makes sense, then that's fine. Use it for whatever you like. So there's something here called flow. But if you think that flow, that icon is useful for something else within your org, then use that. What I would suggest you do is that you don't reuse icons that are already in your org. So if you have field service, then don't use any of these field service icons. If you don't have field service, then some of these field service icons are actually really useful to use. So we've got I want a green icon, green for go. So I want a green icon, and I want a green icon that sort of looks like it's, we're counting down the time. So that's why I chose that countdown. So this is in the custom icon section, and there it is, custom 95. So we choose custom : custom 95 for our icon. Now, just as a note, in Spring 23, some of these icons are changing colors for accessibility reasons. So this deep red will no longer be available. It'll be more like one of these lighter red colors. So, and there's a couple of different icons changing. You can see that in the Spring 23 release notes. Okay, so here I've got that icon there. So we're using that custom 95 icon. And this icon is in the lead key details, and it's called lead status. So when we're creating our custom metadata types, we've got to be very consistent with our naming convention. You can have any naming convention you like, as long as it's consistent for you and consistent for all of your other system admins. So I've got here lead status, and on my indicator bundle item, it's called lead key, lead status. So it's a combination of lead key details and lead status. And we can see that this is the order of 1 in our, this is the very first icon in this bundle. So if we go back to our indicator bundle items, we can see, so I've got lead key status of 1, I've got lead rating as 10, and lead source as 20. So it's better if you, when you're setting up these, you go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then if you need to squeeze in another icon in the middle, you can just go 11, 12, or 15 in the middle of between 10 and 20. But I always want this status to be the first icon, so I've chosen that as 1. So that is our simplest icon. We're using a SLDS icon. It's only shown on positive value. We don't have any icons showing if it's false or blank. Remember in the setup video, I said, well, if it's not working contacted, I'm not really interested in showing an icon because that's not really important to me. So that icon will only show if it is working contacted. If it's converted, closed, not converted, I don't need an icon showing at all. But it's just that working contacted means I'm ticking down time. I need to get this done, and we've got that hover text of working on the lead. Okay, so the next type of icon we might want to have a look at is one that we have only where it's not entered. So we'll go back to our one where we use the icon group as an exception bundle. So in this case, what I've done on the page layout, so let's show how we add the indicator bundles to the page layout while we're here. So we've got our custom, after we've installed the package, we've got our custom indicator bundle, and we just drag that to the location we want. We can add it in our wide section, we can add it in our narrow section, but we like it best here over the top right hand corner above your chat or an activity, because for me it's like information on the left, what's next or next actions to do on the right. That fits with your buttons being up here. Your chatter, your very next thing you got to do is post to chatter, or you're going to do an activity. So your actions and your indicators on the right and your details on the left. That's how I lay out my pages. So we drag the bundle onto the page in the location we want. We choose the bundle. So here's our 3 lead bundles. Now all of the bundles will be there. So this is why it's good to have a naming convention. So if you've got an account bundle, it will show account bundle there. So you just got to choose the right bundle for the right page for it to show up. So lead key details is the bundle we want here. And we can choose to have the icon showing as medium or large. And we can choose to have the icon shown as base or circle. Okay, so this is a standard Lightning avatar component that we've leveraged for this feature. And so here on this contact details one, I've chose the lead contact details, the icon size is medium, and the icon shape is base. And then I've chosen to only show it if any one of these are blank. So if phone or mobile or email or website is blank, then I'm going to show this bundle. So the combination of the bundles, the icons that are on each bundle, and the component visibility allows this to be just so powerful. So on this one, this icon here is, so that's the mobile icon. So we'll go back to our indicator setup, and we've got lead contact info, lead mobile. So that's on our lead contact info bundle. And on our lead contact info bundle, we've got phone, mobile phone, email, and lead contact info, we've got phone, mobile, email, and website. Okay, so we're going to go to that bundle item for mobile phone, that indicator item for mobile phone, and we'll open that one up. So this one here is the object of lead, the field of mobile phone. And note that every single icon can be active or inactive. So you could set it up, make sure it's all okay, and then make it active. So in this case, similar to the other one we had, on the other one we had only show if it was there was a value entered. In this case, we're saying only show when it's false or blank. So this is great. If I had that that is working field, formula field, and that said false, that it wasn't, the status wasn't working, then I could set up to show show false or blank. In this case, it's showing when the mobile phone the field mobile phone is blank. So we don't have to fill in anything on the show it when it's entered, because it's just extra. If we were showing that when it was entered, that's just extra information. We can see that there's a mobile phone there. We don't need to have an indicator to show that there's a mobile phone there. This is more of an exception, an indicator showing this exception when there's no mobile phone entered, because we've decided this is important to us. So we want to help our users enter this data in. So here we've got no mobile phone entered, and here we're just using an emoji. So I'm just going to copy that emoji and I'm going to paste it into Google just to check which emoji it is. And I've used this tool called Emojipedia, and that's the most useful one for showing me which emojis to use, and most importantly, how they will look on every single device. So in this one here, we can see it's got a background of an icon there. So I've got the static text of the mobile phone emoji. So emojis, you just paste it in like a text. But I've got a standard generic loading icon. So this is just a very light grey icon, generic loading. So see how it's got the little loading icon? So this is generic loading. But the beautiful thing about this Lightning Avatar component is we can layer text on top of these icons. So these icons, they're called SVGs. SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphic. So it means that each icon is different layers. So the actual icon and the background are two different layers. So the standard functionality of the avatar that we're using for this has the ability to take that layer off of the icon and put a layer on of initials. So we're just leveraging that standard feature of the standard Lightning Web Component to show our text over the top of our standard grey icon. Okay, so you can do this with the SLDS icons. There are other icons here which you get to by just going to login.salesforce.com/logos. I don't know whether you knew that was there, but it's cool. It's got a whole heap of logos built in that you can use for your own benefit. So the difference with these is these are images. They're not SVGs. So you can't overlay text on these icons. So these icons come as they are. So we'll have a look at that when we do the other icons, but remember to use the logo URL rather than the icon URL. Okay, so here I've got the invoice icon value of the generic loading, invoice static test. I've got the hover text of no mobile phones entered. So that on our lead record comes up as no mobile phones entered because there is no mobile phone entered. And it will go away, the indicator will go away when the value is true, because we haven't entered anything on the true side of things. So here's our hover text, no mobile phone entered. Okay. So the next ones, we've got all of these ones, and the reason we've put them in here as default is that they utilize a thing we've called extensions. So they're really useful. You can see that was working here, how when I was 100,000, it was $1 sign, 500,000 is $2 and over 1 million is $3 signs. So that's really helpful. That's a really good type of indicator to use, like for donors on your nonprofit success pack. If they're a high value donor, put a high value $3 signs. You can have up to three characters on these, but you might want like the money bags icons on here for like high value donors. So you might want red, green and yellow for high value, low value, medium value. You might want to use these icons. So again, there's lots of icons out there, and you can just utilize them to make up whatever you would like. So this thing here, this icon here is dependent, the icon that is showing is dependent upon the value that's in there. So this one, the one for the status, was just a true false, yes or no. Is it showing yes or no? But this one is showing different icon depending upon the values in here. So let's have a look at our values. So we've got lead annual revenue. So we've got an item extension for lead annual revenue, 100K to 500K or a million plus. So we'll go to our lead annual revenue indicator item. And we can see in here we've got the object of lead, the field is annual revenue, it's active, but we are not using a true or a false value. Okay, in this case, we're using extensions. We're saying, show me this if it's between 100,000 and 500,000. Show me this one if it's between 500,000 and a million, and show me this one if it's between over a million. And here's the priority, which is similar to order, but just gives which icon should show depending on the priority. So in this case, we've got lead annual revenue of $1 million. So we've got the minimum is $1 million. And we're showing static text of $3 signs on top of the icon value of standard settings. Okay. Now, again, we could use that money bags to have instead of the icon, have an image for the money bags, green, red, or blue, depending on the minimum values. But this is the value-based extension. Okay. So this one here is a text-based extension. So this one here is country. So have a look at this one. So in this one, we've said our most important thing is, our most important countries are US and Canada. So we just really interested in seeing whether they're US or Canada, but we're not really interested in any of the other countries. And you can see here I've created one for US or United States, one for CA or Canada. Of course, if you've got rules as to how leads entered, and you always enter full name, United States, or if you enter United States of America, this is still going to work because it contains United States. And it's case sensitive. So contains CA, capital, is different to contains CA, lowercase, for Canada. Okay, so just be careful with that and put in whatever extensions you need for the different values that you want. I have put in here one other, and I don't even know that it works, so we're just going to test it out right now. So we'll go to test, and I'll enter Australia, and we'll see if it works. And so it doesn't. So it's not a hazy match. It would have to have specific values for specific countries. So if you've got 6 countries that you would like to have as the ones that pop up, you enter 6 sets of extension values. So we can delete that other one because I tried a wildcard and the wildcard doesn't work. Okay, so our next one of interest is this one here of the industry. So again, we've chosen 6 or so industries that we like to have, we want to know about: engineering, government, manufacturing, technology, utilities, construction, electronics. Okay, so we'll have a look at, we'll go to industry and we'll have a look at that, and we'll just have a look at going to one of our leads. And so one of our industries was electronics. And we hit save, and we've got a chip for electronics. So that's pretty cool. So I'll close that one down. don't need that one anymore. So this one here, this one I've got we said industry is really important. So if I haven't entered industry, I want to have that there is no industry entered. I have just worked out the way we have it showing for the country. So before we come back to industry, we're going to go to country. And if we choose, so we said if there's no country entered, give us the logo for the grey map. And we said give us yellow or give us US or Canada. But if it's got another country other than US or Canada, map, let's do a map green. So we want to get that one and choose that one. And we want to have an image of our map green. Okay, now let's check that out. So see, I find out more things as I go through, and as I try and build new icons, new sets of icons. I think, oh, how could I make that work? And I find more things, and I find more things that I want to have. So therefore, I put in a new feature request. So here we've got, this is another country. It's not Australia, it's not US, or it's not Canada. So that's really cool. So we've got the true value. It's anything else other than the two we want to have. And then if it's US instead of Australia or USA, then it's US. Okay, that is really cool. All right, so getting back to our industry. So here is our 8 industries that we're interested in. And in this case, we're not interested in showing a logo unless it's one of these 8 industries or it hasn't been filled in. Okay, so here's our industry construction, and we've got, it's just showing the logo of custom 44. So we can go to our icons like in the design system, choose custom 44, and that's the hammer. Cool icon. Okay, so this is where you can have some fun and bring some fun and levity into your Salesforce org. So, so that's our industry icon. So the rating is similar. In this case, we're using the rating of the temperature on here of red, yellow, and green for hot, warm, and cold. On this icons here, it's hard to find. So temperature blue. So we've got the grey, there's no rating entered, and then we've got hot, warm, and cold, red, yellow, and green for these icons. And in this one, it's similar. We've got different inquiry types. We've got web, partner referral, purchase list, and we've got the different types of icons there. And again, if we haven't entered the purchase list, haven't entered the lead source, it's going to come up with a, hey, you need to enter a lead source. So that is really helpful to have that also. Okay, now again, we'll just have a look at our email. Our email is the emoji on the same background. Our website is the web icon on the same background, and our phone number is a telephone on the same background. So they're all of our icons. Now, that is not the end of the setup functionality. I did forget to mention the bundle. So we go to the indicator bundles. So we'll go to the lead company information. So you don't have to have an icon or a text value or anything on the bundle itself. So here we've got the card. So this is standard Salesforce LWC card LWC. So here we've got card title, So I've got no card title, no card icon. I come back to my test record. I've refreshed my screen. And here I don't have an icon. So sometimes I like to have no icon or title on the second or third component. And even on the like in this component, I may not even have a title or text, and it's just some details about these icons there on their own. Now, of course, this is all dependent on your screen size as to how many icons you can fit. It will wrap if your icon of your page is much smaller. So of course you can fit 3, 8, however many icons you like. This is a bit laid out because I've got a lot of white space here. I would probably put the key details about the company and the lead on the same bundle, and still have the contact details as a secondary bundle. So have as many bundles or as few bundles as you like, and just have fill in the bundles with the bundle icons that you think will look good together. So the thing is, you can make these icons look really ugly, and you can make them look really good. So this up to you. Just have a play with how the icons look, and the whole idea is that you, as a system admin, need to sell this to your users to get them to understand why you've done this, why it's of benefit to them, and what these icons mean. So if you can't sell it to your users, then you need to choose some other icons. So any other icon can be used. So if I just want an icon for a lightning bolt, I could just search for an icon, grab any icon that is possible to be used, that is free to use in commercial purposes. And there is some excellent icon sites, and I've got a list of them on the documentation, and you can grab really colourful, useful icons, and you can download them as an SVG, and as long as they're free to use. Now, some of them require attribution, so you'd have to put in some attribution text on the icon bundle itself. I've added as a feature is to make it easier to do the attribution. So you might want to have it as a rich text, something on the page that only admins can see, or something like that. So just look at the attribution rules. So to say you want this really colourful icon, you can download this icon directly and add this as an SVG to your static resources, and just use it similar to any other image. So image can be a static resources that you have entered, and there's things like that graphics pack that you can use icons from there, which is the Salesforce Labs thing. I don't like the graphics pack because I think it puts far too much in your org, and so I just want simple icons. But if you have these in your org already, you can grab one of these icons and use one of these. And we are going to allow you to add in different icons from different companies easier in a future release. Okay, so but just know that you can do unusual and any type of icons that you like. Just make it work for you to your heart's content. Okay. One of the other really interesting things here is that lookup fields or lookups to other items. So think of, on a contact bundle, you would like to use accounts. You'd like to have an icon for the account status. So you've created a field on the account called is active, and you would like to show that the account is active on the contact. So in that case, you can say, for example, if this is the contact object. So I'll just choose contact here. Contact. So we've got this advanced field here where you can enter, this is spanning relationships up to 5 levels high. So you might want to enter it, or the owner's managers department or something along those lines. But here, this is contact, and we want to show account.isActive. And that's our custom field on the account record. So, and we would call that contact account active, and we put our icons there. So this advanced field is for our spanning relationship field. So any master detail, on a detail side, you want to have an indicator from the master record, you can do that here. We're using this advanced field, put nothing in the field, and use advanced field for account is active. So that's about it for now, and there is probably more to come. What we want you to do is have a look at the recipes, and we've got different types of recipes, and this is what we need help with. We would love your help to build out these recipes. I'd love you to submit a recipe for about something that you have done. You can come and do a Salesforce.org sprint. There is a new sprint coming up in March 2023. We would love you to get involved. There is a whole series of issues that are still open that we would love some help on. So we've got that one where we'd like to do different icons. There's some issues with mobiles. We've got some, we'd like to, if you've typed the icon name wrong, show something there. That would be cool. So any feature requests that we've got there, we can add in there. And the other thing that we would like to do as far as moving forward is we'd like to sort of go through a list of all of the other types of apps that do similar things of the way they alert or show values on a screen. So you can use pop-ups, you can use banners, you can use a custom highlights panel, you can use, I found so many different ways that you can visually change your page depending on values on the field or statuses of the record or anything like that. So we'd like to have a review of each one of these ways of doing them, and then some comparisons. Well, you might want to use toasts in this situation, but indicators work better in this situation. So we'd really love some help for going through these competitors. And there's some other discussion items there that we might want to have more information on. And we've got some more components that we'd like to do. So I've shown you there the way I would do exceptions using the indicators component, but we've actually got a plan for a whole exceptions component. And then we've got a plan for a highlights panel component. So for right now, we've got the bundle items, the indicator items, so you can click through to any one of these custom metadata types and go and create a new indicator item or clone an existing one. That's probably an easy way of doing it. Clone one that's similar, and use the recipes to help guide you. So you can just hit new here to create a new indicator item, and away you go. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully that will help you set up your indicators to really help with your usability and getting to know your Salesforce org in a lot better way by simply seeing at a glance what this record is about. Every single one of my clients that have used this indicators components for, and that is every single one of my clients, really loves it. And they get such value out of it. They love the colors. They love the feedback that it gives, that it changes immediately when the values change. And they can quickly rely on these colors and these icons to show them quickly at a glance what's going on when they're looking at the record. So I hope you get the benefit out of it also.